Hello friends, welcome to GK Rapid Brain YouTube channel. Today in this video, I have brought SoSe Science General Question and Answer on the world of living for School of Specialized Exhalation STEM, which will be asked in all exam. This video is first part. Let's start. First question, all organisms require food to obtain. Options: A. Vitamins, B. Proteins, C. Energy, D. Fats. The right answer is C. Energy. All organisms require food to obtain energy. Energy is used by organisms to carry out all of their life process, such as moving, growing, and reproducing. Vitamins, proteins, and fats are all important nutrients that organisms need, but they are not sources of energy. Vitamins are needed for a variety of bodily functions, such as maintaining the immune system and producing hormones. Proteins are needed for building and repairing tissues. Fats are needed for storing energy and for providing insulation. So, all organisms require food to obtain energy. Second question, the protein part of complex enzymes associated with a metallic group is known as options: A. Coenzyme, B. Apoenzyme, C. Hormone, D. None of these. The right answer is B. Apoenzyme. The protein part of complex enzymes associated with a metallic group is known as apoenzyme. The apoenzyme is the protein part of an enzyme that is not active by itself. It needs to be combined with a cofactor, which can be a metal ion or a coenzyme, in order to be active. The cofactor is the part of the enzyme that binds to the substrate and catalyzes the reaction. Coenzymes are organic molecules that are required for the activity of enzymes. They are often derived from vitamins. Hormones are chemical messengers that are produced by glands and transported in the blood to target cells. Third question, Pepsin acts in options: A. Neutral media, B. Acidic media, C. Alkaline media, D. None of these. The right answer is B. Acidic media. Pepsin is an enzyme that is produced in the stomach. It is protease, which means that it breaks down proteins. Pepsin is most active in an acidic environment with an optimum pH of 1.5 to 2.5. In this acidic environment, pepsin can break down proteins into smaller peptides and amino acids. In alkaline media, pepsin is inactive. This is because the acidic environment is necessary for pepsin to fold into its active conformation. In an alkaline environment, pepsin unfolds and is unable to catalyze the breakdown of proteins. So, pepsin acts in an acidic media. Fourth question, enzymes present in the pancreatic juice are options: A. Pepsin, peptidases and lipase, B. Trypsin, amylase and lipase, C. Lipase, sugar and peptidases, D. None of these. The correct answer is B. Trypsin, amylase and lipase. The pancreatic juice is a clear alkaline fluid that is produced by the pancreas. It contains a variety of enzymes that are involved in the digestion of food. These enzymes include: trypsin is a protease that breaks down proteins into smaller peptidases and amino acids. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down starch into maltose. Lipase is an enzyme that breaks down fats into fatty acid and glycerol. In addition of these enzymes, the pancreatic juice also contains bicarbonate ions, which helps to neutralize the acidic contents of the stomach. So the enzymes present in the pancreatic juice are trypsin, amylase and lipase. Fifth question, the largest gland in the coelom is options A. Pancreas, B. Liver, C. Thyroid, D. Parathyroid. The right answer is B. Liver. The largest gland in the coelom is the liver. The liver is a large lobed organ that is located in the upper right abdomen. It is responsible for a variety of functions including digestion. The liver produces bile which helps to break down fats in the small intestine. Metabolism. The liver is involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Storage. The liver stores glucose, vitamins and minerals. Detoxification. The liver removes toxins from the blood. The pancreas is a smaller gland that is located in the abdomen. It produces pancreatic juice which helps to digest food in the small intestine. The thyroid and parathyroid glands are both small glands that are located in the neck. The thyroid gland produces hormones that are involved in regulating metabolism. The parathyroid glands produce hormones that are involved in regulating calcium's level in the blood. Sixth question, coprophagy is associated with options A. Frog, B. Dog, C. Rabbit, D. Scorpion. The right answer is C. Rabbit. Coprophagy is a habit of eating feces. It is most commonly associated with rabbits. Rabbits eat their own feces as well as the feces of other rabbits to obtain essential nutrients that are not fully digested the first time around. Dogs, frogs and scorpions do not practice coprophagy. Dogs not eat their own vomit, but this is not the same as coprophagy. Frogs and scorpions do not eat feces at all. Seventh question, when a man starves, he starts consuming his own. Options A. Protein, B. Fat, C. Glycogen, D. None of these. The right answer is C. Glycogen. When a person starves, their body starts to break down glycogen for energy. Glycogen is a type of sugar that is stored in the liver and muscles. Once the glycogen stores are depleted, the body starts to break down protein for energy. Fat is also broken down for energy but is not the first source of energy that the body uses. The body will not start to break down fat for energy after the glycogen stores are depleted. So when a man starves, he starts consuming his own glycogen. Here are some other things that happen to the body when it is starving. The heart rate and breathing rate increase. This is because the body needs more oxygen to break down stored energy. The body temperature drops. This is because the body is trying to conserve energy. The body becomes weaker. This is because the body is not getting enough nutrients. The body starts to break down muscle tissue for energy. This is last resort as muscle tissue is important for movement and other bodily functions. 8th question, hormone secreting stimulates the secretion of options A. Bile, B. Salivary, C. Pancreatic juice, D. All the above. The right answer is C. Pancreatic juice. The hormone secreting stimulates the secretion of pancreatic juice and bile. It does not stimulate the secretion of salivary juice. Secretin is a hormone that is produced in the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. It is released in response to the presence of acidic chyme, which is the partially digested food that enters the duodenum from the stomach. Secretin stimulates the secretion of pancreatic juice, which contain enzymes that help to digest proteins, carbohydrates and fats. It also stimulates the secretion of bile, which helps to break down fats in the small intestine. Salivary juice is not stimulated by secretin. It is stimulated by the smell, sight or taste of food. 9th question, which one of the following enzymes does not function after food passes from stomach to the intestine? Options A. Trypsin, B. Pepsin, C. Stepsin, D. None of these. The right answer is B. Pepsin. Pepsin is an enzyme that is produced in the stomach. It is a protease, which means that it breaks down proteins. Pepsin is most active in acidic environment with an optimum pH of 1.5 to 2.5. In this acidic environment, pepsin can break down proteins into smaller peptides and amino acids. However, once food passes from the stomach to the intestine, the pH of the environment becomes more alkaline. This alkaline environment is not conductive. This alkaline environment is not conducive to the activity of pepsin. So, pepsin is inactivated. Trypsin, trypsin, and other enzymes that are produced in the intestine are able to function in the alkaline environment of the intestine. 10th question. Formation of protein is options A. Dehydration analysis, B. Dehydration synthesis, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. The right answer is B. Dehydration synthesis. The formation of protein in a dehydration synthesis reaction, two molecules are joined together by the removal of water molecule. This is the opposite of a dehydration analysis reaction in which a molecule is broken down by the addition of a water molecule. In the formation of protein, amino acids are joined together by the removal of water molecule. The amino acids are linked together by peptide bonds, which are covalent bonds that form between the carboxyl group of one amino acid and the amino group of another amino acid. The sequence of amino acid in a protein determines its structure and function. Proteins are essential for all life processes, including growth, repair, and metabolism. 11th question. Liver is said to be a digestive gland, although it secretes options A. Many enzymes, B. No enzymes, C. Amylase, D. Pepsin and trypsin. The right answer is B. No enzymes. The liver secretes bile, which does not contain any enzymes. Bile is a yellowish green fluid that helps in the digestion of fats. It does this by breaking down large fat droplets into smaller droplets, which makes them easier for the enzymes in the small intestine to digest. The liver also secretes other substances that are important for digestion, such as cholesterol and phospholipids. However, these substances are not enzymes. The other options are incorrect. Amylase is an enzyme that is secreted by the pancreas. Pepsin and trypsin are enzymes that are secreted by the stomach. 12th question. Increased excretion of sodium and ammonium salts by the kidneys is called options A. Alkaline tide, B. Diabetes, C. Hemophilia, D. None of these. The right answer is D. None of these. The increased excretion of sodium and ammonium salts by the kidneys is called renal acidosis. Alkaline tide is a temporary increase in blood pH that occurs after eating a meal. Diabetes is a chronic health condition that affects how the body turns food into energy. Hemophilia is a rare blood disorder that causes people to bleed more easily than normal. In renal acidosis, the kidneys are not able to remove enough acid from the blood. This can lead to a buildup of acid in the blood, which can make the blood more acidic. Renal acidosis can be caused by a number of factors, including kidney disease, dehydration, and certain medication. The symptoms of renal acidosis can vary depending on the severity of the condition. Some people may experience no symptoms, while others may experience fatigue, muscle weakness, nausea, and vomiting. Treatment for renal acidosis depends on the underlying cause. In some cases, treatment may involve medication to help the kidney remove more acid from the blood. In other cases, treatment may involve lifestyle changes such as increasing fluid intake and avoiding certain foods. 13 question. The enzyme invertase converts. Options: A. Cellulose into starch, B. Starch into glucose, C. Glucose into sucrose, D. Sucrose into glucose and fructose. The right answer is D. Sucrose into glucose and fructose. The enzyme invertase converts sucrose into glucose and fructose. Invertase is a hydrolase enzyme that breaks down sucrose into its two constituent monosaccharides, glucose and fructose. Sucrose is a disaccharides, which means that it made up to monosaccharides joined together by a glycosidic bond. The glycosidic bond in sucrose is broken by invertase, which releases glucose and fructose. Invertase is found in many plants, including fruits, vegetables, and honey. It is also produced by some bacteria and yeasts. The hydrolysis of sucrose by invertase is a reversible reaction. This means that glucose and fructose can be recombined to form sucrose. However, equilibrium of the reaction favors the formation of glucose and fructose. 14th question. Digestion of carbohydrates is enhanced by options: A. Pepsin, B. Trypsin, amylopsin, C. Amylopsin, D. None of these. The right answer is C. Amylopsin. The digestion of carbohydrate is enhanced by amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down starch into maltose. Starch is a complex carbohydrate that is found in many foods such as bread, pasta, and potatoes. Amylase is produced in the salivary glands and the pancreas. When food enters the mouth, amylase is released from the salivary glands and begins to break down the starch into maltose. Maltose is a simple sugar that can be easily absorbed by the body. In the small intestine, amylase is also produced by the pancreas. The pancreatic amylase helps to break down any remaining starch that was not broken down in the mouth. So the amylase is an important enzyme that helps to digest carbohydrates. Without amylase, carbohydrate would not be able to be broken down and absorbed by the body. 15th question. The most important element for the growth and repair of tissues is options: A. Vitamins, B. Proteins, C. Calcium, D. Carbohydrates. The right answer is B. Proteins. The most important element for the growth and repair of tissues is protein. Proteins are essential for the formation of new cells and tissues. They are also important for the repair of damaged cells and tissues. Proteins are made up of amino acids, which are building blocks of proteins. There are many different types of proteins, each with a specific function. Some proteins are involved in the structure of cells and tissues. Other proteins are involved in the transport of nutrients and oxygen. Still, other proteins are involved in the immune system. So, proteins are essential for the growth and repair of tissues. Without proteins, the body would not be able to repair itself or grow new cells. 16th question. Actual release of oxygen in the cell is called options: A. Breathing, B. External respiration, C. Internal respiration, D. None of the above. The right answer is C. Internal respiration. The actual release of oxygen in the cell is called internal respiration. External respiration is the process of bringing oxygen into the body and removing carbon dioxide from the body. Internal respiration is the process of using oxygen to release energy from food molecules. In internal respiration, oxygen is used to break down glucose molecules into carbon dioxide and water. This process releases energy which is used by the cells to carry out their functions. 17 question. Unlobulator lungs are found in options A. Whales, B. Horse, C. Frog, D. None of these. The right answer is A. Whales. Unlobed lungs are found in whales. Lungs are the organs in the body that are responsible for gas exchange. They allow oxygen to enter the body and carbon dioxide to exit the body. Lungs are made up of lobes which are separated by connective tissue. The number of lobes in a lung varies depending on the animal. Humans have 2 lobes in each lung, while whales have no lobes in their lungs. The lack of lobes in whales' lung is due to the fact that whales breathe through their blowholes which are located on the top of their heads. This means that whales do not need to have as much surface area in their lungs as other animals that breathe through their mouths. Here are some other animals that have unlobed lungs: dolphins, porpoises, seals, walruses. 18th question. The rate of breathing is lowest when we are options A. Eating, B. Sleeping, C. Playing, D. Running. The right answer is B. Sleeping. The rate of breathing is lowest when we are sleeping. When we are awake, our bodies are constantly using energy. This requires us to breathe more often to bring in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. When we are asleep, our body are at rest and do not need as much energy. This means that we can breathe more slowly. The rate of breathing can also be affected by other factors such as exercise, stress, and illness. However, in general, the rate of breathing is lowest when we are sleeping. The other options are incorrect. Eating, playing, and running all require more energy than sleeping. So the rate of breathing would be higher in these activities. 19 question. Chloride shift is essential for options A. CO2 transport, B. O2 transport, C. N2 transport, D. All the above. The right answer is A. CO2 transport. The chloride shift is essential for CO2 transport. The chloride shift is a process that occurs in red blood cells RBCs. It involves the exchange of bicarbonate ions SCO3 and chloride ions Ci across the membrane of the RBCs. When carbon dioxide CO2 enters the RBCs, it is converted into bicarbonate ions by the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. The bicarbonate ions then diffuse out of the RBCs into the plasma. In exchange, chloride ions diffuse into the RBCs from the plasma. The chloride shift helps to maintain the pH of the blood. It also helps to transport CO2 from the tissues to the lungs where it can be exhaled. The chloride shift is not essential for oxygen transport or nitrogen transport. 20 question. A iron containing protein myoglobin is present in the options A. spleen, B. lungs, C. muscles, D. none of these. The right answer is C. muscles. Myoglobin is an iron containing protein that is present in muscles. It is smaller to hemoglobin, the protein that transports oxygen in the blood. However, myoglobin is found in the muscles where it stores oxygen for use during exercise. Myoglobin is a globular protein that is made up of a single polypeptide chain. It contains a heme group, which is a complex of iron and a porphyrin ring. The heme group is responsible for binding oxygen. Myoglobin is found in the sarcoplasm, which is the fluid that surrounds the muscle fibers. It is concentrated in the parts of the muscle that are used most often. When muscle contract, they need oxygen to produce energy. Myoglobin releases oxygen to the muscle fibers, which allows them to continue to contract. 21 question. Amount of air exchange in breathing can be measured with a options A. thermometer, B. barometer, C. photometer, D. Spirometer. The right answer is D. Spirometer. The amount of air exchanged in breathing can be measured with a spirometer. A spirometer is a device that measures the volume of air that is inhaled and exhaled during breathing. It is used to diagnose respiratory problems such as asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease (COPD). A spirometer consists of a mouthpiece, a tube and a chamber. The mouthpiece is placed in the mouth and the tube is connected to the chamber. When the person breathes in, the air is drawn into the chamber. When the person breathes out, the air expelled from the chamber. The volume of air that is inhaled and exhaled is measured by the chamber. The spirometer can also measure the rate of breathing and the force of breathing. 22 question. Carbon dioxide release is accelerated in lungs by an enzyme known as options A. Oxidase, B. Hydrogenase, C. Carbonic anhydrase, D. None of the above. The right answer is C. Carbonic anhydrase. Carbonic anhydrase is an enzyme that catalyzes the reversible reaction of carbon dioxide and water to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid then dissociates into biocarbonates, ions and protons. The reaction catalyzed by carbonic anhydrase is very rapid, which is why it is important for the release of carbon dioxide from the lung. The enzyme is found in the red blood cells and in the tissues. In the lung, carbonic anhydrase help to convert carbon dioxide into bicarbonate ions. Bicarbonate ions are then transported in the blood to the tissues where they are converted back into carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is then released from the tissues and exhaled. So, carbonic anhydrase is an important enzyme that helps to facilitate the release of carbon dioxide from the lungs. The other enzymes you mentioned, oxidase and hydrogenase, are not involved in the release of carbon dioxide from the lungs. Oxidase is an enzyme that catalyzes the oxidation of a substrate, while hydrogenase is an enzyme that catalyzes the reduction of a substrate. Neither of these enzymes is involved in the reaction of carbon dioxide and water to form carbonic acid. 23 question. Which animal has a double trachea? Options A. Snakes, B. Whales, C. Penguins, D. None of these. The right answer is C. Penguins. Penguins are the only animals that have a double trachea. The double trachea is a feature that helps penguins breathe underwater. The two tracheas split into two bronchi, which then lead to the lungs. This allows penguins to breathe more efficiently underwater. Snakes, whales and other animals do not have a double trachea. They have a single trachea that branches into two bronchi, which then lead to the lungs. 24 question. The organs of sound production in birds is options A. Larynx, B. Syrinx, C. Pharynx, D. Vocal sac. The right answer is B. Syrinx. The organ of sound production in birds is the syrinx. The syrinx is located at the base of trachea where it divides into the two bronchi. It is a complex structure that contains muscles and cartilage. The muscles in the syrinx can vibrate, which produces sound. The sound produced by the syrinx can be modified by the shape of the syrinx and by the muscles that control it. This allows bird to produce a wide variety of sounds, including songs, calls, and chirps. The larynx is the voice box in humans. It is located in the neck, just above the trachea. The larynx contains vocal cords which vibrate to produce sound. However, the larynx does not play a role in sound production in birds. The pharynx is the part of the throat that connects the mouth and the esophagus. It does not play a role in sound production in birds. The vocal sac is a sac that is located in the throat of some birds. It can be inflated and deflated, which can damage the pitch of the sound produced by the syrinx. However, the vocal sac is not essential for sound production in birds. 25th question. Excess of carbon dioxide in the body fluids is known as options A. Dyspnea, B. Hypercapnia, C. Aponia, D. None of these. The right answer is B. Hypercapnia. Dyspnea is shortness of breath. Aponia is a pause in breathing. Neither of these terms refer to excess carbon dioxide in the body fluids. Hypercapnia is a condition in which the level of carbon dioxide in the blood is abnormally high. This can happen due to a number of factors including respiratory problems, heart problems, and certain medications. The symptoms of hypercapnia can vary depending on the severity of the conditions. Some people may experience no symptoms while others may experience headache, dizziness, drowsiness, and confusion. Treatment of hypercapnia depends on the underlying cause. In some cases, treatment may involve medication to help the lungs breathe more effectively. In other cases, treatment may involve lifestyle changes such as quitting smoking and losing weight. 26th question. Lack of oxygen in blood fluids is known as options A. Hypernemia, B. Anoxemia, C. Anoxia, D. Hypoxia. The right answer is C. Anoxia. Hypernemia is an increase in the rate and depth of breathing. Anoxemia is a condition in which the oxygen level in the blood is abnormally low. Hypoxia is a condition in which the oxygen supply to the tissues is inadequate. The anoxia is the most severe form of oxygen deficiency. It occurs where there is no oxygen at all in the body fluids. This can be caused by a number of factors including drowning, suffocation, and heart failure. The symptoms of anoxia can vary depending on the severity of the condition. Some people may experience no symptoms while others may experience headache, dizziness, confusion, and seizures. Treatment for anoxia depends on the underlying cause. In some cases, treatment may involve providing oxygen therapy. In other cases, treatment may involve surgery to correct the underlying problem. Thank you friends for watching the video. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe. If you want to ask anything, please comment with me. Jai Hind.